Hello there. Once again, it's Anton from Anton Bay. Thank you for stopping by and spending a little bit of time in the collection room this morning. I am looking at some more cards today. I never really noticed it, but I do have quite a large collection of cards, and I never really realized that cards, till just last week, cards were the main reason I started to collect. Action figures comics came second. The first thing I ever bought was some cards when I was little. So anyway, today we're looking at Skybox, Malibu's Ultraverse line, Ultraverse 2, the Origins, and I have a full set here. And so this is anything, and they are alphabetical, so I thought that was cool. Anything is with Freaks, the comic book Freaks, can take any form. Adam Bob here was from, I think he was the leader of the Strangers. Boom Boy, just basically a big stone man, and he was also in Freaks. Choice, really cool character. She's actually a superhero, corporate-made spokesperson to sell things, which sounds lame, but it is much cooler than it sounds. Dropkick, pretty sure he is with the Solution. Electrocute, this is a weird one. She was actually a sex robot for J.D. Hunt, and then when she got struck by the Ultraverse lightning, she became a real person. So, weird. But also still a robot, but a robot with a soul. Firearm had his own series, own book. Grenade, he was the douchiest character from the Strangers of like ever. Hard Cases with Ultra Force towards the end. Otherwise, he was on his own. He was an actor. Good character. One of my favorites from the Malibu Ultraverse. Lady Killer, fashion designer, who after she got struck by the Ultra Lightning, joined the Strangers. Was the financier of the Strangers. Mantra, ancient warrior trapped in a woman's body. Looks like I have two Mantra cards. They look slightly different. Ah, one is a promo card. That's why it looks different. Cool. The Nightman, Johnny Domino, jazz player who got struck by the cable car that got struck by the Ultraverse lightning, and now he can hear evil. That's the only power he has. Outrage, Verk, yeah. He is with the Solution. He's actually what the heck is the name of that species? Darkurians. Cool, interesting characters. As long as you don't hit their brain, they're almost invulnerable, and they can move their brain throughout their body. Plug, a member of Freaks. I think he's just he like lives in computers and stuff. Pressure, another member from Freaks, which was a pretty good book. Basically, kind of the Gen X version of that Malibu Ultraverse. Prime is disgusting. He's just a little kid that like Prime oozes out this giant body that surrounds him, and then he's a little kid inside of it. It totally grosses me out. Prototype is like, well, clearly he's like Iron Man if he was like a young, mouthy Hispanic kid in there. Shadow Mage is an Awarian. Do I get that right? Arrowan? I think it's Arrowan. She's also with the Solution, which, as far as team books go, Solution was by far my favorite. Slayer. I have no idea. I don't remember him at all. Sludge was a dirty cop who got transformed into a pile of goo, fights crime, and stays alive in the sewers. Solitaire. Don't know much about him. He's kind of I know he looks like a purple Deadpool when he's all in costume. Spectral. I think this dude changes. He has like 6 different colors that he can turn into, and each different color has a different power. He's with the Strangers. Sweetface is with the Freaks, a disgusting character whose body is basically worms, except for her face. Tech, This is the lady who bought herself Ultraverse powers, Ultraforce powers, so she can communicate with computers. She paid for this ability, and then somebody sold it to her. And then she started the Solution as a big vengeance team to take down the people who stole her company. Tech Knight is an old spirit of a knight who lives in the modern techno armor. Veil. I don't remember Veil. Phew, crazy. War Strike. He was in those weird like kind of offshoot comics that I never really read that much of. So I've seen his books, but I have some, but I don't remember much about him. I don't remember much. Same with Wrath. I'm not real familiar with. Uriel, kind of a goddess type, kind of a storm type character. Lives with cloud people, but I think comes down and I believe is on the Strangers. Yeah, I think she works with the Strangers. Zip Zap also works with the Strangers. If I remember right, Strangers team is big. It was like 7 or 8 members for your standard team. Lord Pumpkin is just an evil pumpkin that was brought to life and tormented by a kid and became evil back in the medieval period. Boneyard, I think he's like a god from another dimension, and he's an a-hole, and he's in the Mantra books. Death Dance, part of a mercenary team that it usually runs into the Solution. Mangle is basically kind of the same as Lord Pumpkin. He's a normal person who a rich kid was always torturing him, and they gave him these braces to put him back together, and now he's evil and twisted, and he has powers because of his braces, I guess. What an odd thing. Scourge, I don't recall at all. Sometimes I'm like, I've read every Malibu comic, I think, or most of them, except for like Wrath and Warpath and stuff. Blind Faith. What a card. His name is Blind Faith. That's all you need to know. That's all he'll let you know. Yeah, it looks really cool. No, really. Darkwave. I have no idea who that is. I'm not even sure what comic he's from. Dirt Devil. Just a ridiculous character. He moves through the dirt, kind of like Bugs Bunny, and can fight with dirt. He's a bad guy. Mosley, I'm not familiar with that one. Death Wish, I'm sure I've run into him, but I cannot remember him. Arena, gosh, I want to say it was in, it's like the villain armor to Prototype. Heater, that is such a lame name. I think he works for Aladdin, but I cannot exactly remember. Rhiannon, she's like a murderer, a vampire of some kind. Eats the flesh of people, and I think it was a Fleetwood Mac song. Bloodstorm, it's just a lame name, and fairly lame looking character. Pierce, why does that sound familiar, and why can I not remember? Works for Aladdin. I can't remember if he's a good guy or a bad guy. If he works for Aladdin, he's probably a bad guy. Kismet Deadly? How am I not remembering these? Oh, that's right. She works with Boneyard in the Mantra comics. Vestige, another character I just don't remember. What is up? How is this possible? I don't remember him. The Radicals, these guys look familiar. I think they're a team who got their asses pounded a couple of times. Ranger looks familiar. It's a cool suit. I love that suit. Looks like something from Exo Squad. It's like a larger version of the Prototype suit. It's like an earlier version. Meat Hook. Bad guy works with, what is the name of the team? Quattro. So there was an evil team named Quattro, and there was Meat Hook, Death Dance, Book, and one more member whose name I can't remember. Foxfire, another one of Aladdin's goons, worked out of the base at Aladdin. Mastodon, I'm trying to remember what comic he was from, or where did we actually see him appear, but I can't really recall. Riverman, also something I don't remember. Riverman. Prime. So Aladdin Ultra-Human Assessments. Mantra Ultra-Human Assessments. Oh, it's a different set. Okay, so there's the full team of the Solution. I think there was only 4, yeah. 4 members. And the Strangers, 6 is what it's got listed here, but if I remember right, there was more. There was like a couple more later, but Sludge, assessment card. War Strike assessment card. I don't know why they would have a Firearm assessment card, because he was not an Ultra, I don't believe. I think Firearm was just a human. Hard Case assessment. Nightman. Enemy in the Squad. This was an actually really great story. It's just this new upstart team that goes and fights Enemy, the nanotech mechanized entity, and they get, I mean, butchered. They wade into it like they can win this fight, and Enemy like totals them. Enemy is one of the baddest things in the whole Ultraverse as far as Prototype versus Prime. That wouldn't even be a fair fight. Hard Case versus Aladdin. This is one of my favorite stories, is where Hard Case and Choice are trying to break into Aladdin, and they keep running into Aladdin goons and fighting them, and it is just great. I love it. I love the art in that story too. Aladdin and the Strangers. Hard Case versus Prime, because in Breakthrough, everybody had to like be pitted against each other. War Strike versus Wrath. And the biggest part of that fight was they couldn't tell who was who because they looked the same. Freaks and the Nightman. I think the Freaks would deal with the Nightman quite handily. Boneyard and Mantra. Dark Wave versus Prime. Ooh, what's this? I wasn't aware of this in this card set. Sometimes I love these, sometimes I hate them. This looks to be all Barry Windsor Smith stuff, so I'm not wild about that because I'm not a big Barry Windsor Smith guy. That's wrong. That goes there. That goes there. That goes there. That goes there. One big scene. So I kind of love when cards do that, and I don't know, it's kind of interesting. I've got a whole set of Marvel cards that like every group of the cards does that. So it would be nicer if it wasn't all Barry Windsor Smith art, but it is. Rush, I don't remember that guy. Or no, yeah, I do. He hung out with Second Mantra. Mask doesn't sound familiar. Flood looks creepy, but I don't remember. Pistol. Oh, he's the little brat kid that runs with Lord Pumpkin. Ripfire, desert thug who got turned into a space warrior. Smoke, I don't remember. Rubble. Rubble. I would not go with Rubble. Tyrannosaur, this is actually a really cool character. Kind of reminds me of the modern wrestler. What's his name? Luchasaurus, yeah. Basically Luchasaurus with superpowers. And then right there is your checklist. That is my Ultraverse Wave 2 Origins card from Skybox 1994. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. That's my story. Catch you later. Bye.